Hey, this is Drew Bennett from Ben Spark Family Adventures, and occasionally I am given books to review for part of my Read to Me Dad review series. This is a series where I talk about books that would be great for your kids, recommendations to parents for different books to be on the lookout for. And this new book that I want you to be on the lookout for is called The Revenge of Magic, The Last Dragon. It is by James Riley. It was provided to me for free by Aladdin, which is a imprint for Simon & Schuster's children's publishing division, and this is the second book in the Revenge of Magic series. Now, I'm a completist, so when they offered me this book to read, I said I really need the first one. Even though this can be read standalone, I need the first one to get an idea of what is going on in this world. I need to know, I want to be part of all those in-jokes or those Easter eggs, or those different things that are important to both books. So they sent me the first book, The Revenge of Magic, and you can see here you've got this giant fist, and it's actually holding the Washington Monument. And that's significant because our main character here, right here, Forsyth Fitzgerald, he and his father are on the Washington Mall, and there is an attack by these gigantic beasts, and his father is the only casualty of this attack. And this racks Fort with so much guilt. So then later when he's approached by Dr. Oppenheimer to go to the Oppenheimer school to learn magic so that he can fight the monsters, he jumps at that. He wants to learn what's called destruction magic so that he can really hurt these monsters because of the tragedy with his father. And along the way, Fort learns how to do magic. It's a whole different way than you've ever seen magic before. I find this really interesting, the way that James Riley approaches this. Now, he is a best-selling, New York Times best-selling author. Some of his previous series are the Half Upon a Time series, as well as the Story Thieves. These are some series that I want to get into and read myself because I like his writing style. I find it really interesting. It's very accessible to kids. It's set up for ages 8 to 12, so grades 3 through 7 are going to be your fan base for this book. So if you're looking for a book for your tween, preteen, this is a cool book for them. I know my daughter is going to be very excited when I finally let her read the book. As you can see, my book is all like a little bit dinged up because I've read through this. I was reading this like every night before I went to bed. I read both of these so that I could really understand what's going on in this series. And I like it. Now, The Revenge of Magic, The Last Dragon, second book in the series, this comes out on October 8th. It is a continuation of the story from the first book. It's really interesting what happens here with Fort and his friends. There's some big doings at the end of the first book. Well, I recommend that you get the first book and the second book and read both of them. Even though you can jump in on The Last Dragon and still have an idea of what's going on, you don't have to read the first one to get the second one. But me, I do. That's just how I am, especially with books. I need to start from the beginning and read them all. Fort has some interesting friends. There are a couple other kids at the school that he's friends with, Gia, Rachel, and Cyrus. And then in the second book, he gets this new roommate named Gabriel. And Gabriel has a mystery all his own. So there are also some other students. There are some interesting people that try to thwart Fort in different ways. There are some big bads, like obviously you've got this gigantic dragon that's holding Fort on the cover of the book there. So you've got some really big bads that are coming after him, and he has to rise above that. He has to learn magic, and it's really interesting how James Riley approaches magic. In this way, in this world, magic has been gone, but about 12 years prior to the events of the first book, there were these skeletons of dragons with riders on their back that were discovered, and the riders had a book in their hand. And each book is a different type of magic. And when a student goes to the Oppenheimer school, they are given 2 of the books because the Oppenheimer School has 2 of the books. There's other schools and other places that have other books. So as you learn, as you go through the series, oh, hey, there's this other school, there's this other school, there's this other school, and there's other things that are happening, and there's other magic to learn. But at the Oppenheimer School, you can learn either healing magic or destruction magic. Obviously, Fort wants destruction magic so that he can attack the monsters that attacked him and to get revenge on what happened to his father, and hence the Revenge of Magic. This is a really interesting series. I had a lot of fun with it. I'm looking forward to the 3rd book, although I do hear when I read the end part of it, it sounds like James has some really nasty stuff coming for our heroes, for our friends, and it's almost as if nobody's safe, and that's the kind of thing, like, you know, as a Game of Thrones fan, all seasons except for, you know, maybe 8, where things just happen and your favorite character, something could happen to your favorite character. That's the kind of feeling you kind of get with this, that something could happen to any one of those characters at any time, and you have to read it for yourself to really get into what's happening. But it has great adventure. If your kids are into Stranger Things or you know, Dungeons and Dragons, and they like adventures, this is going to be a good book for them. It's a different approach to the whole kids go to school and learn magic sort of thing. Different than Percy Jackson, different than Harry Potter. It's its own thing, and it's really a great, interesting approach to that genre, and I'm really a big fan of it. Anyway, I'd like to thank Simon and Schuster's children's publishing division, Aladdin, for sending me these copies of these books for free so that I could review for you. This is Drew Bennett from Ben Spark Family Adventures. This has been a Read to Me Dad review. Great reviews for parents so that they know what books they want to pick up for their kids. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter as Ben Spark, Facebook.com/Ben Spark Family Adventures, and you can find me here making videos all the time. Thanks for watching.